So let's have a look at, what should I say? Hey traders, it's John Howell here. The thing that I'm looking at right now when it comes to the gold and silver market and also the mining stocks was actually I was waiting to see what would the inflation number do to gold and silver, right? Because what would it actually do? The big picture on me, guys, on a buy and hold, like buy, hold, let go, right? It's like buying a house. You know, you don't buy a house and then flip it next week, do you? Well, some people do. Actually, they don't even flip it. You know, it probably takes you about maybe a couple of months to flip a house, right? So at least a couple of months, 3, 4, 5 months of renovations. Sometimes a couple of months. But generally speaking, when you're buying property, what do? You buy, hold, and quite some time. So we have the long-term buy and hold. So it's going to be really interesting to see what's going on. I'm going to share with you exactly what I'm seeing. Bit of an update on gold and silver. Let's get straight into it. Don't place a trade based on what you'll see in this video because there is no guarantees of making a profit in the market. It takes you a long time to become a good trader. So this video here is just to educate you to become a much better trader. Hey traders, I'm running a webinar today and I'm going to be teaching you my #1 trading system that I've been trading for majority of my trading career. Plus I'm going to share with you the 3 secrets that I use to go from $250,000 in debt to making a full-time income. Very first link in the description, guys, click on that, join me for my next free webinar and I'll see you there. So we can see, let's have a look at let's start off with gold here. And gold on a weekly charts is, we are still stuck in no man's land. And remember, and if you watched my videos this week, traders, I did a video on gold. And this, why most people don't do well out of the markets is because when the markets do this, people get bored. This is the time you should be getting excited because there's a high probability we're going to do this. We're going to see a very, very, very big move. And you're going to miss out on that move because then you're going to be FOMOing after the market makes a big move. If we have a look at Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin did the exact same thing. Look at this here. Bitcoin did nothing really, just down, up, down, up, down, up, especially all through 2019 and 2020, 2 years of not doing much. Oh, this is boring. Nothing much going on. Oh, geez. You guys get impatient after 1 or 2 days. Imagine staying here for 2 weeks and then the market explodes, right? And now, and so what happened? We had long term of not doing much, a big move of something much. So that long term of nothing much is what's happening right now with gold. And this is the whole thing about buying low, selling high. So when gold starts to make a big move again, which no doubt we are going to, tell me when, John. Who knows when? All right, that's all I know is it's really high probability that we're going to do that. I just need to be involved with it when it happens, right? That's all I need to know. John, tell me the day it's going to happen. No one knows that. If you think you're going to go to these billionaire hedge fund managers, he's 40 years experience and blah, 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 blah. Right? And you're going to listen to all these people out there and you think you're going to find someone who tells you the exact day we're going to explode? No. It doesn't matter if you've had 40 years experience or you're a hedge fund manager or you're a billionaire investor. They don't know, right? I'm very confident in seeing what I'm going to see, which is an upside movement. Heck, it could be this week. We could start to see a very nice move this. It could be 6 months from now. All you need to know is that this movement here is probably going to, which is really nothing going on, right? People are like, oh my goodness, I can't believe, gold and silver, that's been doing nothing. Like, why would you be involved with that? Just like the reasons why you wouldn't, look at this back here, and then we had almost an 80% rise in gold. Then we pulled back. We're probably going to see another big move to the upside when it comes to the to the gold price. But we are squeezing up into this we had this sort of triangle pattern. We do have a bit of a support level coming up through here. So looking on this is the weekly chart. Looking on the daily charts, I wouldn't be too surprised to see this thing actually fall through the floor here. It'd be really. Looking on the hourly chart, we can see that let's actually go to the 15-minute chart here for a minute. Yeah, it looks like that was that was around when the unemployment data came out. I think so anyway. Yeah, it looks like right here that's when the unemployment data came out. So you can see that gold's on a short term, really not much going on there on the short term, and even on that daily chart. So the breakout's going to give us a bit of a sign through here. So what I mean by that is that if we get a breakdown through here, traders, then that's going to confirm like a bit of a bear flag formation. Then we're probably like to get a follow through with that. If we don't, then we have like a bit of a triangle pattern forming right now. Right, so it's like a bit of a triangle pattern forming through here. If we do start to bring that down through there, right? If we do start to break up and out like that there, that's going to give us a sign that, okay, now it's breaking to the upside. That's where the breakout is. Then we're probably likely to see a very nice move back to the upside. So that's what I'm seeing through there when it comes to gold. Silver. Silver is actually very, very, very close to a support level. So I wouldn't be too surprised to see silver getting actually a crushed a little bit, because we're just really, really, really close to a major support level. And no doubt there's a lot of people that hold stops below these lows through here. Like there's lots and lots and lots of stops through there. So I wouldn't be too surprised to see this thing actually flush down first, and then maybe make a bit of a slingshot move to the upside. But that's on that big picture through there. On today, we can pretty much see we actually did pretty much nothing through there. We are still in a very big downward sort of phase through here. So I would have to say that we're still in that sort of downward leg through there. So we really need to get back above this level through here to start to see any bullish momentum. But this downward leg has definitely been very, very, very strong in the markets. And these downward legs can stay here for quite some time. You know, if you look at, say, something like the GDX, look at the GDX, right? We actually broke down, came back up, hit the resistance, came down, came back up. This week hit the resistance, now we come back down. The question is, when are we likely to see, when is the market going to break to, let me just draw that through there, right? When is it going to start to break back up and out through there? We do have a bit of a trend line going through there if you look at the last sort of couple of months. But it's actually very, very, very flat. You can see this trend line here, very flat. So possibly nothing going through there. Look at this trend line, very strong, right? Bit of a pullback, and then now we're getting a break to the downside on that there. Moving over there through the GDX, same sort of thing, right? Here, we had a resistance on this day here, resistance on this day here, came down, almost tested as resistance. Look what's happening here, right? Once, twice, three times, we're completely rejecting it, The question is, when do we start to break this momentum on this downward leg through here? Same for the SIL as well too. You can see we actually came up, formed a bit of a top, and then we rolled over. So you can see that when the market came up, found a top, and then rolled over. Then we actually had a downward pullback, came back up, actually hit the resistance line once again. Then we had a pullback, came straight back up, and as you can see, it actually tested it as resistance. So as long as we stay below this trend line through here, as long as we stay below that, then the trend is going to be definitely up. The trend is the trend and momentum is down. But once we start to get breaking above that level through there, and I can just like draw it through there. As you can see, that'll be the level that I'll be looking at to see whether once we do start break above, that's when we're probably going to start to see a momentum to the upside. The big thing though is that we're still developing this overall downward trend. So we're still in a very big downward trend on the mining sector. We have a move down, move up, lower high, and now we're actually pushing down. So there's a high probability we're going to continue to see something like that in the markets. And that's the reason why, if you have a look at this daily charts, you see the reasons why we actually had this very nice upward movement. Look at that there, very strong upward movement. Move up, came down, high, low, came up, and then broke it, right? Once we actually broke it, then we started this downward leg. The reason why this upward leg didn't last long, this didn't continue, was because remember, this here was a major lower high on the weekly charts, and all the weekly charts was doing was rallying up, and then it was dropping back down again. So the weekly trend, all this was just a big pullback in the weekly trend before it actually got hit again. That's why reading the weekly chart is very, very powerful in the markets. And then also we could see what's happening through here. Same sort of thing on the SILJ. Hit resistance, hit resistance. We have a look at that weekly chart once again. Lower high. So I wouldn't be too surprised to see a bit more weakness coming into. There's that major low point through there. I wouldn't be too surprised to see a bit more weakness coming into the mining sector coming into next week. But we did, once again, guys, we are still below the momentum. The momentum on the downward leg is still there. So, and again, guys, the momentum changes once we start to get back above this level through here. So gold, silver, we're probably going to see a bit more weakness coming into these markets for the short term. Again, long term, guys, as a buy and holder, if you're not trying to time the market, then very bullish the upside. Short term, I wouldn't be too surprised to see a bit more weakness coming into the market. So hope you enjoyed today's little update on gold and silver. Traders, make sure you go down and click on that link in the description and join me on my next webinar, and I'll teach you all the details to my trading system and how I trade the markets, and so you can start to use it straight away. See you there, traders.